Hi everyone, welcome back to my class. This is Rumana Ali. I hope you all are doing well. In the last classes, we have seen that two main types of skeleton system can be found in the human body, and that are axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Two types of skeletons we can see in our body. One is axial skeleton and the other one is appendicular skeleton. We have already discussed about the axial skeleton. Now let us learn about the appendicular skeleton. We know that appendicular skeleton includes our limbs and our girdles. Limbs includes arms and legs, and girdles are of two types. One is pectoral girdle and the other one is pelvic girdle. So when we look at the structure of pectoral girdle, firstly we are going to discuss about the girdles, then we'll move to the bones of the arms and legs. We'll learn about the bones of the arms and legs. So firstly we are going to discuss about pectoral girdle. When you look at the structure of pectoral girdle that is found in the human body, then it is made up of four bones. It shows four main bones in its structure, and that are scapula and clavicle. Scapula are 2 in number and clavicle are also 2 in number. So when you sum up these two scapula with that of 2 clavicle, then in total it will be 4 bones. So 4 bones forms our pectoral girdle. Now let us see the structure of pectoral girdle for a better understanding. Okay, let us see the different bones that are found in our pectoral girdle. So pectoral girdle forms the pectoral girdle which is present. The bones which are found in the pectoral girdle, it forms our chest cavity, and even the shoulder region. The dorsal side of our body also shows the bones which is our pectoral girdle only. So when you look at the structure, then here in the front below your neck you can find the 2 bones. So these 2 bones are called as clavicle, and one triangular shaped bone is also present, that is located at the dorsal side of your body, and we call that bone as scapula. So one clavicle is on the right side and the other one is on left side. Likewise, one scapula is on the left and the other one is on the right side. So in this way, 2 scapula that are triangular shaped bones are present on the dorsal side of our body, and 2 clavicle bones are also found. Here the 2 clavicle bones, they join at one end with the sternum. We have seen about the structure of sternum, right? The ribs from the back, they'll come in front. From the dorsal side, they come onto the ventral side, and on the ventral side, sternum is present. To this sternum, the ribs gets attached. So here clavicle are also the bones that can attach with that of the sternum. So 2 clavicles and 2 scapula you can find. And when you enlarge the structure of scapula, and when you look at the structure of the scapula, then you can find some main parts. Firstly, the joint between the clavicle and the scapula, we call this joint as acromion process. When we talked about the sternum, parts of the sternum, at that time I told you that any ending of the bone which is sharp, we name it by using a word process, right? So here the joint between the clavicle and the scapula is termed as acromion process. And in the structure of clavicle, again you can see the different structures. Again you can see the different parts. For example, you can find a part which is like the cobra snake. It is like a cobra. So we name this part as coracoid process. In the coracoid process, in this part, one cavity is found like this. So this cavity is called as glenoid cavity. Now in this cavity, our bones of arm can get fixed. The bones of our arm, it can get fixed into the cavity of the scapula, which is called as glenoid cavity. So whenever we learn about the pectoral girdle, we need to remember the names of two bones. One is clavicle and the other one is scapula. In the bone scapula, two more structures are present, two more parts are present, like one is coracoid process and the other one is glenoid cavity. Glenoid cavity provides the space for the attachment of the bones of our arm. So this is about the pectoral girdle. Let us see the arrangement of the bones of our hand. How the different bones are arranged and how they are attached and how they are fixed in the glenoid cavity. Let us see the bones of the arm. Just before I told you that in the glenoid cavity our bone get fixed. So first bone of our arm is called as humerus, that gets fixed in the glenoid cavity. Humerus is only one main bone is attached to the cavity and we call that one main bone of the arm as humerus. Now, below the humerus, two more bones are found in this region. One bone is called as radius and the other bone is called as ulna. So radius and ulna, these two bones are also found in our arm, that is in our hand, and these two bones get attached with that of humerus. Both radius also attaches with the humerus and even ulna also gets attaches with the bone humerus. When you move further, then in this part, this is called as wrist, right? So in the wrist you can find total 8 bones and we call these 8 bones as carpals. So carpals are also called as wrist bones. In the part wrist you can find these 8 bones. Now the next one is the bones which are present in our palm, in this region. These bones are called as palm bones and they are 5 in number. So 5 metacarpals are present. We call these bones as metacarpals. Palm bones are named as metacarpals and they are always 5 in number. Now in our thumb 2 bones are found and in our fingers 3 bones are found in each of our finger. So 2 in thumb, 3 in 4 fingers, right? So 12 plus 2, 14. Total 14 bones are found in our fingers as well as total 14 bones are found in our thumb and fingers. When we sum up the bones which are present in our thumb and fingers, they will be 14 in number and we call our fingers and thumb as digits. So 14 digits we can say, or it can also be named as 14 phalanges. Okay, so let us recall all these things. We are going to learn about bones of the arm. We know that in pectoral girdle, one cavity is present and that cavity is found in the bone called scapula. That cavity is named as glenoid cavity. In the glenoid cavity, one bone gets fixed and that bone is our bone of the arm. So the bone of the arm, the starting bone of our arm is called as humerus and it is only 1 in number. When you move further, then 2 more bones are found. One is radius and the other one is ulna. Both these bones get attaches with that of the humerus. And then in the wrist part, you can find 8 carpals. Below that, 5 metacarpals are found in our palm region. Then 2 bones are found in our thumb and 3 bones are found in each of our fingers. In total, 14 digits, or we can also call them as 14 phalanges. So 14 phalanges are present in our fingers and thumb. This is how the different bones get attached with each other in order to form a structure, in order to form an organ called hand. So in our hand, in our arm, you can find humerus, radius, ulna, carpals, metacarpals and phalanges. These are the different bones that you can see in your arm. So this hand can also be termed as our upper limb. So in the upper limb, total 1, 2, 3, 3 plus 8, 11, 11 plus 5, 16, then 16 plus 14, how many? It will be 30. So in our arm, 30 bones are present. In total, 30 bones can be seen in one arm. Okay, we have already learned about the joints in our previous classes. We have seen three main types of joints. One is fibrous, the other one is cartilaginous, and the third one is synovial. And we have read that synovial joints are the joints that allows the free movement of our body parts. So we can move our hand freely at the region elbow. We can move our shoulder freely. So the joints which are present at these regions, in the region of our shoulder and also at the elbow, these are synovial joints. And synovial joints are of two types, ball and socket joint and hinge joint. So the joint which is found in our shoulder, that is called as ball and socket joint. And the joint at the elbow, it is termed as hinge joint. These are the two different joints that you can see in the upper limb. So just before we learn about pectoral girdle that provides a cavity for the joining of our upper limb bones. But when we talk about our lower limb, then where the lower limb where the bones of the lower limb can join. So here one more girdle is present in our body, and that is pelvic girdle. So pelvic girdle provides a space for joining the initial bones of our leg, right? So when you look at the structure of pelvic girdle, then you can find two main bones as that of the pectoral girdle. In the pectoral girdle, we have seen that two main bones are present, that are scapula. Likewise, here also two major bones are found in the pelvic girdle, and we call that bones as coxal bone. We call that bones as coxal bones. Here, this coxal bone shows you the three main regions. Coxal bone shows three main regions. One is ilium. This part of the coxal bone is called as pubis. And this part of the coxal bone is called as ischium. In the ischium, you can find a hole that is not a place for joining the legs, for joining the bones of our leg. But there is another place where the joining of legs can be seen, where we can see the joint of our lower limb, right? So you need to remember these three regions of the coxal bone: ilium, ischium and pubis. Now, besides the coxal, there are two more bones present in the pelvic girdle, and that are sacrum. So coxal and sacrum, these two are the major bones found in our pelvic girdle. When you look at the coxal bone, then we have seen that three main regions are present in the coxal bone. These three regions forms a cavity. So here, in this way, all these three regions combined together, a part of all these three regions forms one cavity like this. And the cavity which is formed by the three regions of the coxal bone, we call this cavity as acetabulum. This is an actual place where the bones of our leg get fixed. So the bones of the lower limb can get fixed into a region called acetabulum. And acetabulum is a cavity, or it's a depression which is formed by the three regions, ilium, ischium and pubis of our coxal bone. Now let us see how this acetabulum provides the space for the bones of our leg. Let us see the arrangement of the bones that can be seen in the lower limb. Now let us see the arrangement of the bones of our leg. We know that in the pelvic girdle, one depression is found. We name that depression as acetabulum. Now in the acetabulum, one bone fixes. We call this bone, the first bone of our leg is called as femur. So one femur is found. Now here we have seen that in our hand two more bones are present, like radius and ulna. Likewise in our legs two more bones are found. One is tibia and the other one is fibula. These two bones are found, but here the main difference is in the arms both the bones get attaches with the initial bone, that is with the humerus, but in the case of bones of our leg, only tibia is the bone that get attached with the femur, no fibula. Fibula doesn't show any attachment with the femur, only tibia can get attached with the femur. So in this way only one bone is attaching with the initial bone of our leg, that is with the femur. Fibula doesn't show any attachment with it. And here one more difference is, at the elbow region we do not find any kneecap or any other cap present, but here in our legs at the kneecap is present, and we call this kneecap as patella. So one patella is also found at the region of our knee. Okay, now below this tibia and fibula, again the small bones are present. While learning about the bones of the arm, we have seen that in the wrist 8 bones are present, 8 carpals are present. Here in the legs we call these bones as tarsals, and the tarsals are not 8 in number but they are 7 in number. Next one is foot bones. There we have seen palm bones. They are 5 in number. Here also the metatarsal, we call these as metatarsals, and metatarsals are 5 in number. And we know that thumb contains 2 bones, whereas the fingers shows the presence of 3 bones, right? Likewise toes, in the toes you can see the presence of 2 bones, and in the fingers of your leg 3 bones are present in each of your finger, right? So in total again 14 digits we can say, 14 phalanges can be called. We can call these as 14 phalanges. Now the main bone of our leg is femur, which is fixed into the region called acetabulum of our pelvic girdle. Now to the femur only one bone get attached, that is tibia. One more bone is present in our leg, but it doesn't attaches with the femur. It is attached to the tibia only, and that bone is called as fibula. When you move further, then below you can find the presence of 7 tarsals, 5 metatarsals and 14 phalanges. These are the different bones that are found in our lower limb. When you add up all these bones, then they are also 30 in number. So let us count all the bones. 1 femur, 1 tibia and 1 fibula. 3, 7 plus 3, 10, 10 plus 5, 15, 15 plus 14, 29, and one kneecap is also present now. So in total 30 bones are found in our leg. Now let us talk about the joints which are present in between the bones, the joints that are found in between the bones of our legs. So when you see the attachment, or when you see the joint between the pelvic girdle and the femur, then this will be again ball and socket joint. Shoulder bones and our leg bones, both of them shows the presence of ball and socket joint. And at the elbow we have seen that hinge joint is found, right? Hinge joint is present. Likewise, in the knee, at the region of our knee, you can find hinge joint again. So in the bones of our arm as well as in between the bones of our leg, two main joints are present, that are synovial joints that allow the free movement of our bones, and that are ball and socket joint and hinge joint. Now, with the help of this diagram, we will see the differences between the bones of our arm and the bones of our legs. That means we are going to learn the different upper limb bones and also about the different lower limb bones that we have already learned. Just we'll have a recap of that topic. Okay, so we know that pectoral girdle is a girdle which shows two main bones, clavicle, scapula. Two clavicle bones are present in our pectoral girdle and two scapula bones are present in our pectoral girdle. Scapula bone shows you a cavity, and this cavity is called as glenoid cavity. In this cavity, our bones can get fixed. Now let us see the bones of our arm. The first bone of our arm which fixes into the glenoid cavity, we call this bone as humerus, and it is 1 in number. Below the humerus, two main bones are present. One is radius and the other one is ulna. Radius and ulna, both these bones get attached with the humerus. Now, in the region wrist, you may find 8 bones, and that 8 bones are called as carpals. So carpals are 8 in number. Below that carpals, 5 metacarpals are present. And then here in the toes, 2 bones, fingers 3 bones. In each finger you will be finding 3 bones, right? In total 14. So 14 phalanges are present, right? So these are the different bones that are found in your upper limb, in your arm. Let us move to the other girdle, and the other girdle is our pelvic girdle, which provides the space for joining the bones of our leg. Now, this pelvic girdle also shows the 2 main parts. One is coxal bones and the other one is sacrum. In the coxal bone, one depression is found in the coxal bone of our pelvic girdle, and that depression, this type of depression is found in the pelvic girdle, and we call this depression as acetabulum. Now, in this depression, the first bone of our leg gets fixed. We call that bone as femur. So femur is 1 in number. Now below the femur, at the knee, at the region of our knee, one cap is found. We call this cap as kneecap or patella. This is also 1 in number. Besides this, 2 main bones are also found in our leg. How radius and ulna are present in our arm, likewise 2 main bones are also found in our leg, and one is called as tibia, the other one is called as fibula. in the bones of our arm, we have seen that radius and ulna, both of them get attached with that of the humerus. But in case of our leg, we do not find the attachment of both these bones with that of the femur. So femur is a bone to which tibia, only tibia gets attached. Only tibia shows its attachment with that of the femur. There will be no attachment with the fibula. Fibula does not show any attachment with the bone called femur. So only one bone, that is tibia, shows the attachment with the bone called femur. Now, below this tibia and fibula again, here below the ulna and radius, we have seen that carpals are present, that too 8 in number. But here in the bones of our leg, you may find the presence of tarsals, and these tarsals are not 8 in number, they are 7 in number, right? So tarsals are present, there are 7 in number. Below the tarsals you can find metatarsals, and metatarsals are 5 in number as that of metacarpals, and here 14 phalanges are present. Likewise in our legs also 14 phalanges are present. Right? So the difference between the bone of our arm and the bone of our leg is radius and ulna, both of them gets attached with the humerus, but here in this case only tibia get attached with the femur. In the bone of our arm 8 carpals are present. In case of leg 7 tarsals are present. In the bone of our arm metacarpals are 5. In our legs, metatarsals are 5 in number, and 14 phalanges are present in both, in our upper limb as well as in our lower limb. So when you sum up all these bones, then 30 bones are found in our arm, and even 30 bones are found in our leg. So this is the complete structure of both the girdles, pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. Pectoral girdle is a girdle that provides the space for the attachment of humerus, that is the bone of our arm, and pelvic girdle is a girdle that provides space, that provides the cavity for the attachment of the bone called femur, which is the bone of our leg. So these are the different parts, different bones of our arm and the different bones of our leg that you need to remember. So that's all for today. Meet you in next class. Thank you.